Hey, Pet Service Pros, this is your host, Anthony Flores. Before we get to the show, I would like to personally extend an invitation for you to join us at Pierre.fm. Pierre is a pet service marketplace that helps pet service stores accept bookings through our website and super simple to use mobile app. Just think, guys, Expedia for pet services. It's free to join. There are no setup fees, no minimums. You only pay when you get orders, and you can cancel our service anytime. Guys, consumer behavior is changing and consumers expect a simple and transparent way to book your services. Whether you're an established pet service store and looking to stay ahead of the game or new to the pet service industry, Pierre can help you to grow your business. To learn more, visit us at Pierre.fm today. Pierre.fm. Now let's get to the show.
From the Pierre headquarters in Los Angeles, Pierre presents The Shift, a pet services podcast. A show where pet service pros learn the latest trends in design, marketing, technology, and the stories from other pet industry entrepreneurs and the businesses they built.
The Shift. Hey everyone, we're here today with Teresa and her dog Sushi. Sushi currently has 20,000 followers on Instagram and over 400,000 followers on TikTok. So what I want to do today is we're going to put on a masterclass with Teresa on how to create video and what the heck is this whole TikTok thing about. So if you're wondering like why you should sit around, I think that Teresa brings a ton of experience and creativity, and I think she's really going to help us understand how social media actually works. So thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. What I want to start off with today is how did you get into the influencer business with Sushi?
Well, for me, it started very personally. I started about 2 years ago when Sushi was about 6 years old, and I had realized that I didn't have any baby pictures of her. So on that day, I decided that I was going to make an Instagram to share her photos with friends and family and with the world. And then from there, it just started going. Yeah. So
I guess in the early days, I think one of the struggles is when you're starting off on, say, Instagram, for example, were you hashtagging? Like, was there any idea, were you kind of forward thinking at all at the very beginning, or you were just posting stuff and adding your friends to follow you and it just kind of grew organically?
That's a great question. Well, I was observing all the accounts that I loved. Like one of my favorite accounts is Popeye the Foodie. That is my dog idol, and they're one of our great friends. And so I just looked at other people's accounts, saw the hashtags that they used. They used location hashtags, breed hashtags. So I just tried to emulate the people that I modeled after as much as I could. And at the same time, I also knew that in order to make it, since it was so competitive, that you had to be different. So I was always looking at things and different ways to be different or show a different voice.
So for those that don't know Sushi, explain to the audience what's unique about her.
That's really funny because I always forget because she's had this for a very long time, and she has blue ears that is dyed. It uses a non-toxic dye, and it's pet friendly, and that's kind of her signature look now. We did it for fun once, and then now it's such a hit that we've kind of kept it going.
Yeah, she's so cute. And what breed is she again?
She's a cockapoo, so a Cocker Spaniel and Poodle mix.
She's well behaved too. I mean, she's here with us and she's just chilling on the couch.
Yeah, she's a really smart girl and really communicative and human-like.
Last weekend there was a show here in LA called PetCon. Were you able to make it?
No, I wasn't able to make it. We went camping.
Okay.
Yeah, in San Diego.
That's right. I saw your, was it on Instagram or TikTok where you guys did that video? It was really cool, actually.
That was on TikTok, but that was a different camping trip. But yes, on Instagram and TikTok, we try to keep everyone posted on what we're doing.
Okay. So this is crazy, but I was waiting in line and Popeye the Foodie was actually there. I think that they were actually one of the event speakers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think I saw him on the schedule, actually. And it's just a trip to see like all of these people who know who Popeye is, and they're just going crazy over this dog.
Yeah, because they're doing something that no other dog is doing. They were the first to do it, being a foodie.
Oh,
That
wow.
is a dog.
Okay, gotcha. There's another dog in New York that David was here recently that he had mentioned this dog. They get this dog to stand up, and it's uncanny to see this dog standing in front of a subway, and it's trip to see how well trained this dog is and how he poses. It's almost, and you look at his eyes and you're like, "Whoa, is that dog human?" You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's why it's so funny. Yeah.
So when you're out and about, does Sushi get recognized?
Yes, she does, especially with the ears now. So, because there are a lot of white dogs out there,
Yeah.
so now people recognize her on the street and they ask, "Is that Sushi?" It's pretty wild.
That is crazy. And do they stop and like want to take pictures or?
Yeah, they want to take pictures, and I carry a pack of Sushi stickers, so I'll give them stickers, usually for the kids, but also adults.
Oh, that's so cool. So I hear Sushi is pretty spoiled. Explain to the listeners the family dynamic that Sushi has.
Yeah, so Sushi is in a shared custody type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I got Sushi with my ex-boyfriend 8 years ago. So Sushi has a dad, myself, and a stepdad. So she has 3 parents who absolutely love her, and she has 3 sets of grandparents who always want to have her over and spoil her.
That's so cute. I saw a video, I think you posted something earlier where you just picked her up, right?
Yeah, from her grandma's house. That's her dad's mom. Yeah.
Gotcha. So looking at your Instagram profile, I guess, why do you think that, people are following you? What is it that you're bringing that's unique?
So other than the ears, I think the ears are just like for fun and is a plus, but I don't think that is exactly why they're following us. In the end, I think it's just the perspective, the different kind of pictures, the captions, just a different vibe. And I do notice that certain days when I feel more expressive or more authentic, I get a better response.
And how do you express that? Is that like an expression through perhaps is that an expression through yourself, or is that an expression that you're conveying through Sushi?
So I kind of craft the message where it is coming from her, but still expressing that it is coming from me at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to describe. Recently, I talked about how difficult it is to present this perfect image of being on Instagram where everyone's photo quality is so high and making the perfect picture, and at the same time still expressing yourself and still spending time with your dog, rather than just doing photo shoots with your dog all the time, because that's no fun either. Mm-hmm. So just somehow conveying that and what we do on a daily basis, I think really resonated with a lot of our audience.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's an element of authenticity. And, instead of, and I see this a lot where people are planning like these, really elaborate photo shoots. But maybe the idea is to document real life versus trying to plan something that is just not really authentic, right?
Yeah, exactly. And those elaborate photo shoots, they take a lot of time, so you want to kind of be efficient with your time at the same time. So being efficient and being as real and authentic as you can.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think when it comes to video, and I know that you're super bullish on video, if you look at her profile, both on TikTok and Instagram, she spends a lot of time doing video, and these videos are really short, but very, very memorable and, viral. I've personally stayed away from video only because there's just, the friction of trying to get the right lighting and get the right sound. And then you have to go back and, edit the video. How is it that you're able to do this? And is this something that's, sustainable that you can kind of do in scale? I guess share with us perhaps your framework on shooting video.
So your idea of what video making is like makes a lot of sense. And depending on what kind of video you're making, that is totally the case. I did start Sushi's YouTube channel a while ago, and it was really difficult. We were spending a lot of time. We were making these long videos. We had to edit them. It took hours, and then you had to render them. That takes more hours. And then you find that there's something wrong, and then you have to go back, edit again, and then render again.
Yeah, exactly.
So it took forever.
Yep.
So that's why we really, really enjoy TikTok. So on TikTok, her handle is Sushi Said So. And there we saw that there was an opportunity with making short, quick videos where you try to get your message in within the first 15 seconds. And through music and transforming the content, you can have a really compelling story in a really short period of time. So with that, when it is so short, the lighting and certain aspects of quality is very forgivable. So if the story is compelling enough, and if it's just a little bit dark, it's fine. Obviously, with better lighting, it will perform better. But those things are really forgiving if your message is good.
So how do you come up with, I guess, ideas? I think that's one of the biggest challenges that people have. They're like, they see kind of a canvas, but they're not quite sure what to do with it. What is your thought process behind doing a video shoot?
So for me, I think it's like 50-50. So 50% it is organic stuff and things that I see and an opportunity to just share, or a storyline that just hits me, right? And the other half, to be sustainable, really is looking at what other people are doing and following the trends that are going on and maybe putting your own twist to it. And there is always another trend out there. And if you go in that route, you'll have unlimited inspiration and unlimited ideas.
Gotcha. So go into TikTok, because I think that these two things are actually related. Discuss how the platform works and kind of the idea behind it, and how the idea behind it actually translates into helping you create like unique and, viral like videos.
I would best describe TikTok as the Instagram of short videos, kind of like Vine back in the day, but now with a music component. And it's amazing because with the videos, if you keep it 15 seconds or less, you can use music that is copyrighted. And the music is really what gives it so much life. There's also editing tools on there, so you can make it really funny. You can use transitions, different AR filters. And so it's a lot of fun for everyone.
So how are they able to do that? How are they able to use, it would be considered copyrighted music on TikTok?
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I actually have no idea. It's actually really impressive because I've not seen any other platform that allows you to use this comprehensive of a database of music. It's pretty much everything. And every new user is able to upload their own music and then now is part of the bigger database. But if I were to speculate, if you look at Instagram stories, they also have like a quick music component as well. So it's something like that, however that works, but more.
Gotcha. Going back to, I guess, creating a concept, are you emulating someone else's video on TikTok, or is that something that's part of using the platform? So say that someone creates this video and you're like, what, I'm going to do my version of this video. Is that kind of how it works too?
Yeah. So that is the following of trends. And that is very common on TikTok. And it's really, I would say, unique from other platforms, because if you copied a photo on Instagram, that's really frowned down upon. But on TikTok, if you're doing your own take of something, like let's say you're doing the snoot challenge. Are you familiar with the snoot challenge?
No.
Like where you put up your hand and your dog puts their nose up to your hand.
Okay.
And it's really cute. For example, like that is a challenge. And so it's very popular and then everyone starts doing it. That's just one thing. But on TikTok, there's thousands of things like that.
Okay, so does it have to be another dog video, or can you try and emulate something that someone else did?
No, it doesn't have to be a dog video. It should be something that someone else did, because then there's more contrast. I think anytime that a dog is doing something that is human is a hit. Gotcha.
How does the following work? Because, you've got 400,000 plus followers on TikTok. How does that happen? Can you remember, was there a piece of content that you did that just totally went viral and blew you up?
Yeah, so it really relies on making really good viral content. And unlike Instagram, where you're limited by the number of followers you have, on TikTok, you can blow up over just one video because it's just so good. So for us, the first video that really put us on the map, I guess, I think we gained maybe 100 or 150,000 followers over just one video, was one where there was this funny soundtrack. I think some kid recorded the sound from an Adele concert. So Sushi and I made a video where Sushi was Adele, and she's singing to an audience of balloon animals, like the Jeff Koons inspired balloon animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just really funny to see, and that really hit it really well with people all over the world.
And I guess, for those that are listening to this, think about how simple this is. And, being creative, you can be creative and you don't have to spend a lot of money either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you created that shoot, was there a budget?
Well, you had to have the balloon animals, I guess. But mine were not real Jeff Koons, obviously.
Yeah, right.
And those were Christmas presents that I was going to give to my family. So I had to just make the shoot before I gave the presents away.
Wow.
And with that, that shoot probably took me 2 tries. And each try was about 15 seconds. And then I was done.
Wow. So are you cutting the video up inside of TikTok too?
You can do both. You can have already recorded a video and then upload on there and then cut it, or you can record it on there with the music already going. That's how you're able to also sync the music perfectly. Yeah. So for that one, I did it in-app where it was live as the music was going.
Okay, so it's one take.
Yeah. Well, 2, but yes.
Wow. Okay. That's all starting to make sense. So what about, there's other videos that I've seen, like the camping one that you did, I thought was really cool. It looked like there were slight edits, like you'll see that it's moving from one shot to another. How is that being done? Are you doing that like on your phone, like say on iMovie, or, and how long does that editing process take?
So that one was also another really quick one, but that one I had already recorded a bunch of clips from our vacation. Her in the RV, her by a tree, her by the mountain. And so all I did was chop up all those clips on my iPhone, because you know how iPhone has a trimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just put it on the app and cut it and added transitions. And that was it. So that might have taken me 10 minutes to think of which clips I wanted to put together and put on the transitions and cuts. So yeah, that was great too.
That is insane. So the video before that got you almost 100,000 followers, and that took how long?
Yeah, maybe a minute.
That's insane. Is there a way to use that video on Instagram too, or perhaps on YouTube?
Yeah, definitely. You can, there's an option in the video menu where you can share it wherever you want. You can share it over text. You can share it on Instagram, any other platform that you would like. And you can also save it and upload it onto YouTube as well. But keep in mind that on YouTube, it mainly functions as a horizontal clip,
mm-hmm.
while TikTok and Instagram is designed for your phone, which would be vertical. So you could do it, but it just doesn't look as nice because you'll have black spaces on either side. And I noticed that on YouTube, an average video is at least 2 minutes, while our TikTok videos are 15 seconds, 30 seconds. So I'll still upload them sometimes, and it can still do very well, but it's just slightly different.
And when you take a video, say from TikTok, it's uploaded to Instagram. Do you get the same feedback that you get from TikTok from a video?
Sometimes it's kind of hard to say. You never really know until you release it. But on TikTok, I think the viewers are used to seeing a lot of viral content, while on Instagram, they're not. So generally, if it's doing well on TikTok, it's going to do really well on Instagram.
Oh, really? So that's kind of the litmus early on. Mm-hmm. Is it easier to get followers on TikTok than it is on Instagram?
Yeah, definitely 100%. At least for right now. I don't know what the climate is going to look like later. But right now, because you're not limited by how many followers you have, you're only limited by your imagination and ideas for viral content.
And how do people find your content on TikTok?
So on Instagram, there is an explore page where, random clips will show up, the ones that are doing well. So on TikTok, a similar thing happens. It's called a For You page, which is basically their version of the explore page. And anything that's viral will come onto your For You page. And it also caters to what you like. I think they say that they have like an AI algorithm or something like that. Mm-hmm. So if you like pet videos, you'll just see a bunch of viral pet videos.
Yeah, I've been getting push notifications daily, look at this video or whatever. I think from what I can see, they do a good job at getting you engaged. I think they may do better than Instagram. Instagram feels very kind of not as organic. It feels a little bit more kind of corporate where, TikTok has that kind of younger, I guess, little bit more viral type feel than Instagram does. The thing that concerns me is that, like Snap, Instagram can say, you know what? I like that. In fact, you know what? We're going to do the exact same thing. And it just crushes something like TikTok. Do you think that there's a possibility here? Or do you think that people are just super committed to TikTok?
That's a very interesting question. I would answer in two parts. For one, I don't think that Instagram would just crush TikTok by having their own version of TikTok. In fact, I think they do have one. It's called Lasso. It's I'm not sure if it's by Instagram or Facebook, as they're the same company, but basically is like TikTok. Mm-hmm. And it's been out for a little bit, and I don't see it crushing anybody. Mm-hmm. But I can see TikTok being crushed if the trends are different, when maybe viral videos is no longer that important or interesting, that people are just so saturated and inundated with this kind of content. Then that's possible.
It's interesting, just kind of looking forward. I was watching something recently I think it was on ABC actually. They were interviewing an influencer, and I think it was We Wore What. I don't know if you're familiar, but she does very well. And I just wonder, with Popeye, you said that she was one of the first ones to actually start, that had created a page on Instagram as an influencer for dogs.
Food.
For food, I mean, with food. How much does that matter, do you think? Like, the earlier you start, the better. I mean, is it possible for someone to get in the game today and just, really start to take off?
Are you asking that for TikTok or for Instagram?
I would say on Instagram.
Yeah, for Instagram, I think it's really competitive. So unless you're doing something so different, you're just going to be amongst a wide, huge group of dogs that are all competing for the space.
Yeah.
So, and also I can recall some dogs who started in the beginning, and they are doing really well because they were one of the first, and they have millions of followers, and their content is pretty lax. They don't have the best photos. They're not doing the most interesting things, but they already have that following from way back when.
How do you think Popeye's done it? I mean, if you had to analyze what they're doing and then kind of look at what you're doing today, how do you go from, 20,000 to 100,000 followers? There's something like intuitively, that, I just need to break out of this, and just, I know what it takes, but for some reason I just can't do it. Is there anything that perhaps that you can learn from Popeye or some of these other dog influencers, like Marnie the dog has like 1 million plus followers? Like, what are they doing differently? And I guess what can you take from, these other dog influencers out there?
Well, I definitely noticed that All the ones are just blowing up and are doing really well. They're doing something that no one else is doing. So with Popeye, they are the first dog foodie. It also doesn't hurt that Popeye is insanely cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super adorable. He's very calm and he sits with his food and he poses really well. And so they're creating this community around food. So foodies follow them, dog lovers follow them. They're tapping into many different markets. And also, they have a really compelling story. I don't know if you're familiar with their story, but it's something along the lines of how he was a rescue dog who was found on the street and then now eats at the finest restaurants in LA. So it's adorable. And I think the media really took that story and it was just circulating everywhere. They've been on every news outlet.
That is just crazy. Looking at the influencer economy, I just wonder, like, you're starting to see this more, like, there's social capital. And I almost wonder if at some point, if you don't have a following, this is kind of crazy to think, but people are using social capital as currency today. And I just wonder, like, do you think that is the future?
That is a really difficult question. I'm going to say in the immediate future, yes. But at the same time, I think we can't just live our lives just marketing everything, marketing where we're going to sleep. And, I'm going to stay at this hotel, give me a free hotel room and I'll post about you. Give me free food. It doesn't seem like a sustainable or meaningful way of living long term.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But in the immediate term, I mean, I guess it's working and it's great.
It's interesting because, I was reading a report in the New York Times and they had reported that there's over $1 billion in spend with influencer marketing alone last year. And I think that's going to continue to grow. So I'm just wondering where is this going to end? And I always think, like, if there was no Instagram, where would people go? I mean, a lot of people have considered to be influencers, but what happens if Instagram's gone? So I just wonder, one, it's doing a lot for the economy, I think. I think that people are getting exposed to products and exposed to, especially when it comes to traveling. I mean, you see people are inspired by that stuff all the time. But I wonder also what the future holds. And, if Instagram tomorrow is gone, what happens to all of these people that, they feel like they're both their net worth and their life is built around social media.
Well, I feel like if it isn't Instagram, it will be something else. Now that we know that people can make money this way, it's going to be around. And I just think that maybe the trends might be a little bit different. Like right now, it's about viral content and, products and all of this. But I do intuitively feel like there might be a shift towards more wholesome content once the virality of everything kind of drowns out.
Mm-hmm. And what do you mean by wholesome content?
More content geared towards philanthropic causes, making a difference, things like that, where that would be the new trending thing. Instead of going viral, it's about, or having funny videos, it might be about making a difference, making people happy, like really happy, changing lives.
Yeah, I think that you're starting to, I think the younger generation growing up, I mean, they care about the environment. And I think that there's a lot to learn from, the millennial generation. Do you think that they get, a lot of unnecessary flack?
I think yes and no. I mean, yes, I do think that they are very forward-thinking and techie and all of that. And they do care about, the environment and animals and things like that. However, they also do a lot of things that are not so interesting and wholesome, like social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watching Netflix all day or whatever. So this is different. Being on the phone all day. So yes and no.
Mm-hmm. What about personal branding? Have you considered like really stepping up your own, personal Instagram as well? And I wonder like how much I don't know if you listen to Gary Vee, but he's always pushing, build your own personal brand, and it's a good thing to fall back on in the future. Is that something that you're currently doing now?
I have a personal Instagram, but I haven't really been using it. I maybe post like once a month. But it is definitely something that I think about, because, I'm creating a voice through my dog. But what about me, the one with ideas, the real me.
That's right.
So it is something that I've been thinking about and something that I want to get into soon. I have a life outside of Instagram and my dog, which is that I'm a hypnotherapist. Mm-hmm. So I want to really create a brand around that and building myself as, a hypnotherapist and someone who serves people.
I think that there may be something there. Maybe Sushi, the hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, or perhaps I could combine, both niches about hypnotherapy and people who want to work with their dogs or, grieving over their dogs or whatever. Yeah.
Tony Robbins says that success leaves clues. And there's cool stuff that I guess you can look at Popeye and see that, okay, they combine this with this. So there's two different industries actually intersecting. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
Maybe Sushi, the hypnotherapist, maybe that may be interesting to some people. One thing that, going back to that, the ABC special that I had watched, they were talking about monetization and how these influencers they're making, 5, 6, 7 figures sometimes by doing what they love to do, just kind of hanging out and perhaps pushing, I guess, quote unquote, product. Are you monetizing, I guess, the relationship with Sushi on Instagram, or are you working with brands, or, talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, we are monetizing. We're making money with different partnerships and brands, a lot of product exchanges. And for our account size, we're doing more like product exchanges and some paid campaigns. Mm-hmm. So I feel that it is a very competitive market, and most people would be more than happy to just take, a free bag of dog treats and then post a photo. So given that, it is sometimes a little bit difficult to make money. Mm-hmm. And for us also, I'm always trying to make sure that the content is authentic and aligns with our account and still being entertaining and interesting and wholesome. And for that reason, I can't post dog treats every day.
Yeah, right. That would get played out eventually. So how does I guess, are brands actually reaching out to you, or is this something that you're actively doing outreach on your own, or how does that whole process work?
I would say that 95% of the time it's brands reaching out to us. But once in a while, I might have something that I need or want to partner with. Like a while ago, I needed a bed. So I will reach out to brands if it's one that I think would be perfect for us, that I like and care about and admire.
Gotcha. I was at, did you go to Puppies and Planks, the show, and that happened, it was like a couple months ago here in LA?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, so it was a huge show. This kind of gives you guys an idea. I know that things are different in each community, and I think that, for the most part, LA is very dog friendly. I'd say Seattle would be another, New York would be another one. And essentially there was probably, if I had to guess, maybe a couple thousand people here at one of the big parks here in downtown. And there was an influencer that was like a yoga and Pilates instructor, and she has a huge following. And it's just so wild to see. There's probably 200 or 300 people in the grass, and she's up on a stage, and they're basically doing yoga with their dogs.
That's so awesome.
And I thought, wow. So many things are changing. I thought it was just so cool to see.
Yeah, surfing lessons with your dog.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yoga with your dog, meditation with your dog.
Oh, wow. There's a section on Airbnb that is offering, it's called experiences. And I'm starting to see like people doing a lot of dog stuff on there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super popular out here. Like they'll go hiking, they'll get like a pack of dogs and go up to the hills. I wonder if there's something on surfing too. I didn't see that. That'd be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, couple other things that I wanted to do is, I guess, go back to when you're actually shooting video. I guess perhaps some kind of advice for someone that's just getting started. I guess, how do they get started as a dog influencer? What would you recommend that they do as far as like planning content and kind of getting rolling? Perhaps using hashtags and maybe not.
I would tell them to really think about why they're sharing their dog with the world. Is it just simply, a way of archiving their adventures together? Or is it that their dog does something really special that you wanted to share? So really, depending on what your goal is, that could change everything. So maybe it might just be a small account, and maybe, being Insta famous isn't for you. Like people also need to accept that too. And also, if you do want to really share and really grow, then there has to be a compelling reason why people should, look at your dog. Is it because they're insanely funny? Are they just so absolutely cute? Do they do a million tricks? Do they have this one funny habit? Or do they look funny even? And I think at the end of the day, the important part is, the authenticity and what message you're trying to convey. Because the hashtags and the, scheduling of photos and all the, day-to-day stuff, it only can do so much. And you might just find yourself stuck doing really repetitive and limited things that might be limiting your life and your expression and your time with your dog.
That's right. How much does awareness matter for you when you're kind of out and about? Like if you're like the camping, going back to the camping example, did you think about that before you got there? Or was something that you're like, hey, this would be kind of cool just right on the fly?
So I'm usually always looking for content, but I try to still live my life. So it might be, say, 15% awareness in the background. That if there is something that appears that might be a cool shot, I will take the opportunity to take it. But I try to be efficient with my time. And I'm not, when I'm going camping, it's not 100% content.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Because my boyfriend would be really upset and Sushi would have a terrible life.
That's right. What about equipment-wise? Are you using just your iPhone, or did you guys buy equipment too, lighting, etc.?
I have equipment, but they're all very small equipment. So I have like a tripod, a phone stand. I also have a fancy camera, which is that's how much I think about it. I don't even know. It's a
Canon, Nikon.
It's a Sony AI5. And it's a really great camera, but I found that when you're on the go and when you're trying to shoot content, it doesn't make that much sense to carry out your, amazing camera. It just takes so much time. You have to upload it onto your laptop, then put it on your phone. So most of the time I find myself just using my phone for filming and for photos. It's just the fastest, quickest way.
Are you using an iPhone?
Yes, I'm using an iPhone 10.
Yeah, the camera is pretty badass on that thing too.
Yeah, definitely. But on Instagram, you still see people using really nice cameras, and the photo quality really does show that too. But I think I've chosen that is not the market that I'm trying to pursue. That would be just a little bit too difficult for me and time consuming.
I'm with you. We can go on for hours here, but we'll kind of stop right here. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a lot of fun having you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was awesome, and Sushi loves it here.
Have a good one, you guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks so much for listening to the show this week. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, and we love feedback. So feel free to also leave us a review. You can also visit us on Instagram at Book with Pierre. Until next time, I'm Anthony Flores, and you're listening to The Shift, a pet service podcast.